So this would be a good song to learn if you're in the beginner stages of your playing, or you've never played anything at all. So I will show you the various parts of this song and give you some advice as we go. So to play the little melody part at the start of the song, all we need to do is play across this skinny string. So that's string 1 on your guitar, by the way, and the thick one is the 6th string, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not the other way around, okay? Now when you look on the tablature, you will see that it has numbers across that line, and all that's saying is you have to go to a certain fret to put your finger on over this side. So this is fret 1, this is fret 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So the first thing you have to play is fret 3 on that string. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Just use your first finger. So take that first finger and put it to the edge of fret 3. Not just anywhere in it. Just before this wee metal bar is the sweet spot on the fret. That means you'll get the best possible sound and the least tension on your finger to play the note. And then you take your pick over at that single string, you're only playing this single string, and just push down. And then all you have to do is put your finger to the relevant fret as indicated when you need to do so. So if that's totally new for you, spend some time working on that. All you have to do is drag that first finger around on that first string, just finding the relevant frets. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 12. You probably have markings on your guitar at those. Now if you're a bit more advanced, I'll give you a fancier way to do that little intro, okay? What I'll talk to you here about is something called position play. So in the intro clip, I played the melody like this. So you notice I'm using not just the first finger, but other fingers. And the hand is in one spot on the neck. That's called position play. So you get your hand in the appropriate position, and then you let the fingers do the work. The fingers stretch out. So to play this, by the way, get your thumb not poking up over the neck like that. For the stretches we're going to do, the thumb should be a bit further down behind the guitar. So let's say I took my middle finger and put it in fret 5 there of the first string. The thumb is also positioned at the 5th fret, just behind the neck, and you've got to experiment about where you can put that for now. But this kind of posture is the most effective way to play. So, play fret 3 with your first finger, fret 5 with your middle finger, fret 7 with the little finger if you can, and then you go back to 5 with the middle, back to 3 with the first, so that's the first part of the melody. And if you can do that, the rest of it won't be so bad. When you're picking so far, just pick down towards the floor. Don't worry about picking up towards your head just yet. Then, the next part, it's the same idea, it's just higher up in the fretboard. We need to go to fret 8, and then 10 and 12, and it's going to be the same configuration with your fingers. So that's the first two parts. Back to this bit. And one more bit, we'll use the same fingers, but we've got to shift position down so that 2 is where the first finger is going to be, and this is going to be 2, with the first finger, 3 with the middle finger, and 5 with your little finger. So I'll put that together for you. Just do what you can with that for now, okay? If you have to do that super slow and it gets a bit messy and uncomfortable, don't worry, that's pretty normal for doing this kind of thing. Just take your time with it. One more thing you could do with that is we'll get a bit more technical over the picking side. So there is a technique on guitar called alternate picking, and that just means you will alternate playing down and up each time you play on the same string, like this. So there's not a lot of movement and all this kind of thing. The picks just staying put and just pushing over the string as much as it needs to. Down, up, down, up. So you can apply that to the little melody part. Now the chords you will need for this song are G, C, D, and E minor. Now on guitar there are different ways to play the same chords. Some people prefer using certain fingers in certain situations. The G I'm going to recommend in this song, if you don't know this shape already, I'll show you it, is this guy here. Little finger on fret 3 of the first string, second finger on fret 2 of the 5th string, third finger on fret 3 of your lowest string, and then you've open 2nd, 3rd and 4th string in between. You can strum all those strings now. You can also play G like that with finger 3, 1 and 2. And that's the most common way people would learn G. But you can do it with that by all means, by the way, but I'm going to show you a wee trick that you might not know. When you have a G and a C next to each other in a song, often that change can be a challenge. So if you use this configuration of a G, when you go to a C chord, there's not a lot of movement there. So the C chord is 3rd finger goes to 3rd fret of the 5th string, 2nd finger 2nd fret of the 4th string, 1st finger is down there, fret 1 on the 2nd string, leave out this thick one, and you've opened 1st and 3rd string as well. So look how easy and handy it would be if you did it this way. So you have the chords to play the song now, and I'll give you the strumming pattern. So hold down your G chord of choice and then try this out for me. That's down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Now, this is a very common strumming pattern. You can use this in loads of songs. And what I want you to think about here is, watch my strumming arm here, the way it is always moving like this. So whenever I play the song, you'll notice that the arm is always moving, including during the parts where you're not hitting the strings. And that's important. So if you can do this with your arm, then you can play strumming patterns, and lots of strumming patterns at that. If you can train the arm to do this all the time, nice and loose and natural, then you're going to keep much better time and develop a better understanding of how a song should sound in terms of the rhythm. So try this with me. Hold a G chord down, and you can do any version of a G that you know, by the way, but I just like this one. And try and play the strumming pattern with me, okay? After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more bit of advice that is crucial, especially if you're struggling with guitar or you're totally new. So the crucial thing we have to do is, the strumming pattern in this case has an up at the end of the bar. So what this means is, it gives us an opportunity to anticipate the next chord change and try and get there in time. So if we have a G to C change like this, we obviously have to be pretty proficient to get through those two chords and keep the strumming going. So as you play the up on the G chord, what you might notice now that I've pointed it out is you lift the fingers off a little bit. Not all the way from the guitar, I was just doing that to demonstrate. You lift them off as you play the up. This is called the open string trick, because momentarily you're playing open strings for a wee second on guitar. And we have to do that to get to that next down that immediately happens on the next chord. This is to give you a chance to get there. Because if we don't do it, it'll sound like this. And then you're stuck and you've lost time with the song, and it's not going to sound like it should do. This is a big thing for beginning guitar players, even after people have been playing for a few years. If you don't know about this, now's your time to look for it in your playing and see if you're doing it. And if you haven't got this down yet, you must do this to get your chord changing sounding really good and flush and smooth. If you don't do this, your playing will never sound quite good enough, and you might always be frustrated and not know what the reason is. This is a big thing when I teach people in person, that this takes a while to get stuck into people's playing. So if you don't have that in your playing, now you know what it is, and now you can try and practice to get it in there. Here's a playthrough of the verse. Here's a playthrough of the pre-chorus. Here's a playthrough of the chorus. And then I just went on a bit extra there because you have a break in the song where there's just some bass guitar playing and you can take a wee rest for a minute. And one more thing, the last chorus just repeats 4 times and fades out. So a cool thing you can do on guitar is practice how loud and quiet you can get your playing by fading out your playing as if it was a song fading out with the volume steadily decreasing. So what I'll do is I'll play the last part 4 times, but I'm going to get a bit quieter each time I do it. Okay, so thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you found value in it. Subscribe for more videos and share it with your friends.